This is Andy from Man City Fan TV. The Sharon Latham interview series is brought to you by selfieguide.co.uk. Go over and check it out. Okay, so we had a question to ask you from somebody on Twitter, and they said, please make sure you ask Sharon, what was Mario Balotelli like?
Mario, a little boy.
Yeah.
A lost little boy. He was the most unpredictable character. From setting your bathroom on fire to turning up at the Carrington with his wrapped car. You know, he was a character and a half, but we got on really well. I did a lot of work with Mario. I helped him with some sponsorship shoots that he did as well. We, of course, had the epic I'm going to rob your lens cap in the tunnel.
Of course, yeah.
Had something like ridiculous, like 4.5 million views.
Yeah.
And the more I watch it, I still don't understand where he put it. I'm on the floor.
You're on the floor, aren't you, as he's walking in?
Trying to get the best angle and unusual angles in the tunnel, because you're in that tunnel every game.
Something different.
You want something different. You do. You want to lie on the floor, stand, wherever you can go. And I was just on the floor, literally watching him come down. I got some beautiful shots of him walking down. Then all of a sudden, he just went for my lens hood. And he twisted it and took it off straight away. But as you watch the video, you can't see where he put it. It's like it disappears. Yeah. He stuffed it down his trousers.
Really? Did you ever get it back?
Yeah, I got it back.
Did you wash it?
Yeah. I got it back. It wasn't damaged. It was fine.
I'm sure he would have bought you one.
But I had no idea he was going to do that. And at the time I thought, he's going to bloody pull the whole lens off, because he was proper tugging and I was like tugging back and he didn't just tuck the lens cap. So it's like it's not a cap, it's a longer, it's an extension sleeve on your lens, and it sort of, one protects it and two helps with the light, etc. And if you twist it, it does come off. Well, he tugged and twisted.
And shoved it down his shorts.
And the funny thing was then, the ref was Howard
Webb.
Yeah, and as he's walking out, you can hear him go, oh. So it is.
Surprised he didn't arrest him being an ex-copper.
As he's walking down the tunnel. So, but I mean, he was like a little boy, Mario, and in some instances I felt, he was a lost little boy with his background and where he'd come from and stuff like that. If you got too deep into his psyche, I don't know what sort of person he really, really was. But at City, he was just fun, sometimes too fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And a little bit naughty, but not in a callous sort of way. I don't think he ever meant to do anybody genuine harm.
He was almost like a Gaza, wasn't he? He was just the way he was. He just like fun and
I think sometimes the language barrier caused a little bit of issues. So his humour wasn't what other people would think because of the language barrier. But he was a nice chap. He was a genuine decent chap. And again, I still hear from Mario. Yeah. And I bumped into him in America when I was doing some stuff in America. Bumped into him and he was like, "Oh, it is you." But yeah, Mario was fun to be around. There was never a dull moment.
So those at City then, obviously you've got Edin, you mentioned that you still keep in touch with Edin and Kolarov. Any other friends at City that you still keep in touch with?
There's loads, yeah.
Or staff or
blessed,
footballers?
Absolutely blessed in the fact of still good friends with Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
I mean, what a legend.
Yeah.
Still speak to Micah. My closest friend and obviously my business partner now is Joe Hart. We've always got on. Again, goalies are just my sense of humour.
Yeah,
I think you've got to be a bit nuts to throw yourself on the floor a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, got to be crazy.
I mean, Shay Given. I still speak to Shay as well. Shay's a lovely bloke, and you sort of like, you've got to have a bit of something missing up there. Because the risk they take
to put your head into somebody's foot and and they're about to hit it, you've got to be a bit loopy to be
maybe they've banged their head that many times. But yeah, Joe and I are really, really close. As I say, we're business partners now, good friends. Still speak to Edin, still speak to Kolarov. Still do a lot of work with Vincent Company. That old team, to be honest with you, I don't think there's anybody that I don't not talk to infrequently.
Do you still have a word or two with Zaba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Joe was at West Ham.
Of course, yeah.
Saw Zaba all the time. Zaba's still there. He's still in London. Every now and again we'll pop down. I'm going to have a cup of coffee with Zaba. What a lovely man.
What a
lovely, lovely man.
Legends aren't used too often in my opinion, but he is definitely He's definitely a City legend.
Yeah.
He'll go down with the likes of Joe and Vinny.
I mean, come on, look at that whole team.
Ah, yeah.
That whole team, you've got Jolie and Lescott, you've got Vincent, you've got Nigel, you've got Micah.
Gareth Barry.
Even Sean Wright-Phillips early on.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, I loved Shawnee Wright. Again, still speak to Shawnee Wright. I went to Guatemala with Shawnee Wright.
Did you?
He's got a charity in Guatemala. He built a school out there. It was
really?
Yeah, unbelievable. So I went and did some stuff for him out there in Guatemala. So, all genuinely nice people. I've never not one of them I didn't get on with. People go, oh, but what about Samir? I'm like, no, I loved Samir.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
Samir was awesome.
Well, this is for you, Mike. Bolt from the Blue, who does the podcasts, City podcasts. He does them on a Sunday night with Walter Smith, who you might have seen on Blue Moon Rising TV. He's done quite a few things on there. He's absolutely obsessed with Samir Nasri, and he gets quite a bit of sort of feedback, negative feedback, like you're not too sure. Me personally, footballing wise, what could have been anything.
Could have.
I don't know whether it's negative press, but sort of acted like a bit of an idiot. But I don't know him personally, so you're only what you can read from reports.
He was a gentle soul underneath all that big bravado.
Yeah.
He was a nice, interesting person.
Really?
And I found his sense of humour quite good as well. But ultimately, he was one that, again, a little bit like the collar of this is me, but underneath it all, a genuinely kind-hearted, interesting character. And I got on with him really well. But I also like the fact that he was very honest. If you didn't like it, I don't like it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But I'd rather that than somebody go along with it and, oh, Sharon, why are we doing this? No, I don't want to. Right, do you not want to do this, or are you just tired, or whatever? And he'd be honest. And I prefer honesty than someone lying to you and then screwing you over afterwards. And he was like that. I liked him a lot.
That's interesting to hear, because like I said, he got a lot of negative press, and certainly with City fans, I think there's a real split between whether they liked him. Forget the footballing thing, because he was an exceptional footballer.
He was a good footballer.
Probably should have gone on to bigger and better things, without a shadow of a doubt, with his skill.
But personality-wise,
from the feedback you get off the media and all this, it's interesting.
I didn't have that. I enjoyed his company, and I mean, if you look at other French players, there's Patrick Viera. I mean, what a legend.
Got to be a future Man City
manager. God, what a nice man.
Yeah.
What an unbelievably nice man. I was very privileged as well then to go and work in New York and cover New York City with him and his team out there. That was epic as well. So and then Gail Clichy.
Well, him and Joe had this real...
Gail Clichy, Gail Clichy, again, and still a very good friend, even though he's out in Turkey.